So I tried to do the Instagram live thing. It didn't work out so well. Connection's not so great out here, not a big deal. But I just got done my run and I am soaked. This is crazy. Look at this. I could squeeze that out. It's disgusting. I found a dry spot in the day, even though it was supposed to be thunderstorms all day, which is nice. Hair's on point right here, like this, right? But I want to talk a little bit about weightlifting and running and how they go together because, you know, it was funny. Years back, I was trying to explain to someone who had come into the gym and they were traditionally a runner and they were moving a little bit slower in their runs as they got into CrossFit and weightlifting in general. And I was trying to explain that that was okay and that they were going to, over time, adapt, and that having the weightlifting in their life was actually going to be better. It would help prevent injury, it would help them move faster in the long run, but that you just have to plan tapers around when you actually want your speed to be there. So today's run actually went really well. I was supposed to do about 5 miles at race pace or race effort. And I ended up doing 6 miles at race effort. I went race effort because as I got into my paces, my race effort was a little faster than race pace. So instead of pacing down, I allowed myself to stay there. Now, the one thing I wasn't sure about is whether or not I was going to be able to keep the turnover. And this is the part that I'm going to talk about, right? So I wasn't sure if my turnover was going to last for the entirety of the run because yesterday it was exhausted. And today is day 2 after the work that I did that exhausted them. And it's not like yesterday was easy either. So on Tuesday, went out, hit my intervals really hard, had a great day overall. It was just awesome. And then went into the gym and we had deadlifting and toes to bar. So we deadlifted heavy, and you know that's going to work the hamstrings, the glutes, the back. But then we paired that with toes to bar. So you're opening the hip with the deadlift, right? And then closing the hip hard with those toes to bar. I'm not too worried about what's going on with the shoulders on the toes to bar because that's not really going to affect my running too much. Unless I really overdo it and hurt the shoulder and then can't move my arms, but really not too worried about that. So the toes to bar in combination with that deadlift, they got my psoas, beat them up good. And yesterday I was supposed to go out for my really easy run, and it's like 10 to 12 miles, nice and easy. Ended up doing 12, right? I think it was 12. And from a heart rate perspective, super easy. Cruising, breathing, nice and easy, no big deal. But my legs, on the other hand, they did not want to turn over. And so this is where, when you're doing the two together, if you're putting together core work to help advance your running, if you're going to go into a program like CrossFit or Orange Theory or something that's going to give you a full body workout, it could even be your Beachbody stuff, and you want to work on your running, you have to allow the two to get in the way of each other. And I say get in the way, but really what they're doing is enhancing one another. But you have to allow them to. So I go and I deadlift and I hit toes to bar, and they really beat up my psoas. So the next day I go out for an easy run and my psoas is exhausted. The psoas is that little connection right here that comes up, right? And it's part of what's pulling the leg forward. So if I'm running and I can't pull my leg forward very well or very fast, that gets in the way of my cadence. It slows down my cadence. It makes it harder for extension. So it's harder to develop power in the run. And that actually makes for a very challenging easy run, which I don't mind, because a challenging, easy run ends up being good base work, and it ends up being fairly good for creating adaptation through those areas, as long as you don't overdo it. Now, how quickly can you recover? That's what I wasn't sure about today. So normally you get 2 days from a workout like that, and it actually gets worse. Today is 2 days from that workout. Now I'm supposed to go at race effort or race pace for this marathon pace, which thank goodness it's not like trying to turn over a 5K or something like that, because that would have been brutal. But I wasn't sure how long that was going to hold on, or if it was going to feel strong in the beginning. So I got into the first mile and it felt okay. And then I started at race effort and didn't look at my watch, just start at race effort, go. Gave it about a third of a mile, half of a mile, and looked down at my watch to see where I was at. Now I was a little bit ahead of race pace, so that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So it was either going to be I would put in the effort to speed up to hit race pace, or if I was ahead of race pace, feeling good at race effort, then I would stay there and just hang on to that effort level and not allow myself to fall under pace. So the target was 5 miles. I ended up going 6. The last mile was a little dicey, which I'm okay with that. I don't mind going until you kind of hit that place where it's like, okay, I really should stop. And I often do one more. You know, I'm supposed to go 5. I'll finish 6 or 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. Or I'm supposed to go 11. I'll go 12. Like, it's not that I'm trying to go extra. I just don't like trying to escape just underneath what I'm supposed to do. I always like to finish strong, and then if there's a little bit more there, just kind of explore it a little bit. And exploring that kind of builds my confidence level or tells me where I'm at and that I'm overextending, right? So I'm learning something in that moment rather than just doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. But today ended up going really well, and I think it goes to speak, you know, for the balance between weightlifting and running, that they can really enhance each other. And as long as you're still able to do the things that you should be doing, like if I went out and couldn't hit pace, couldn't hit effort, was totally beat up today, then it's likely I would take the next few days and just focus on recovery, and then get back to it and try not to go that hard in another workout next week. So I would dial it back just a little bit. That way that doesn't happen again, because I don't want to take it too far, right? I want to keep the effort levels in both areas just shy of too much. That way they can enhance each other, make each other a little bit more challenging. You know, going out and doing the runs and then going into CrossFit and doing it with the class, it makes the CrossFit workout more challenging. You know, I have to hold back a little bit on some of the weights where I might be able to push out a little bit extra if I just didn't go do the run. But I've got some goals that involve running. So guess what? I'm going to do the two together. Now, the beauty of doing the weightlifting with the running is that it's actually going to make me a more resilient runner. I'll be able to handle more impact. I'll be able to go longer. A lot of the joints are much more balanced. The musculature, the tendons, the ligaments, they're stronger because of the weightlifting. Even the bones themselves, like, they're stronger because of the resistance training. So pairing the two together is a major positive, but balancing them out is super, super, super important. And you don't have to go to the gym for a 90-minute session. Like, you can go hit a 15-minute weightlifting session, hit a 15-minute workout, and, you know, toss in a little warm-up in there, and then boom, you're done, you're out. Like our classes at Wingman, that's it. It's 15-minute warm-up, 15 minutes strength. You've got a 15-minute workout. There's a little bit of time in there to move weights around and build stuff and whatnot. But it's all built around that style, right? And we do that because that is all you need for the rest of your life. Beyond that, it's playing with your nutrition, because this stuff is all just stimulus to get to where you want to go. Now, I'm doing a little bit extra. For the first time in my life this past year, I can't say for the first time in my life. There was a time before where I did a lot. It was just before I actually joined the military. I wasn't very purposeful back then. Now, for the first time in my life, I'm being extremely purposeful about the additional volume for very specific goals. And not only is it coming together beautifully, but it's coming together in a way that feels very, very, very supportive, very, very, very sustainable, and it's producing enhancement. And I think we're all searching for that at some level, right? I think I've taken more than enough of your time in this video. So the thing we're going to find out now, because I'm going to do some CrossFit tonight and I'm probably going to do some swimming tomorrow, but I have that Everest attempt on Saturday. I still don't know what time I'm starting. I am scared shitless of this attempt. I don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah, but I have a feeling I'm looking at somewhere in the 20-hour neighborhood, so it's gonna be dicey. If anybody wants to come out and join me for a few laps up Sugarloaf, I would really enjoy it. And if you're down to support the causes, Chelsea's GoFundMe is listed on my Facebook page, as is Kris Soprano's GoFundMe. Supporting either one of them in any way possible would be amazing, and it would mean a lot. Not just to me, but to them, to the boys, to the families. So, yeah. Thank you very much if you made it this far in a video, and if you can come out on Saturday, I'd love to see you at some point. Have a great day, guys.